I want to make 30 million. I didn't get paid enough. You don't ever hear guys going, yeah, they didn't pay me yet, ever.
Is that like a bar, Dana? Because I see a lot of people, like, people always bring up the fighter pay with the UFC, but what's like, isn't Logan complaining right now that he just checks from Floyd? Is that like a boxing issue versus
you don't
a boxing thing?
You don't ever hear that coming out. You hear a guy going,
boxing issue?
Well, here's what happens when you go in and you do these fights and you make them, and Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong, you do these fights that are exhibitions or whatever, the commission isn't overseeing it. So let's say I did a fight with Mike. I got Mike fighting, Francis or something. The athletic commission gets the money up front. So they pay the fighters.
Either way, the last thing you really need in your life is for things to go wrong, and you were showing off how you were a big shot financially when you didn't have to, really. You didn't have to do that. And now you have this egg on your face and things are falling apart. And now people are wondering, did you get screwed? Or was it your own financial ignorance?
Now, he's accused in multiple lawsuits, all right, of owing millions for luxury watches, gold, and rent as well on the apartment that we just talked about, okay? And so he's got about, I want to say, I counted about 6 lawsuits.
Dana White criticizes Floyd Mayweather Jr. for going after another fight with Manny Pacquiao, saying it is all about money, calling it disappointing, and questioning his financial condition.
What they got to do and say what they got to say to try to, to get in there and make money. It's not even going to be funny. It's going to be bad.
Logan Paul says Floyd Mayweather still has not paid him from their exhibition match, hinting at money problems and raising doubts about Mayweather's current finances and responsibilities.
Ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid me. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. Mm-hmm. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment that I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million. He custom built the house, by the way, in like 2006.
Yeah.
Started at 14, reduced to 12,
yeah.
10, 8 came on the market. Yeah. And it was a lot.
Dana White states that Floyd made huge money during his career, with his biggest payday coming from his major fight against Conor McGregor. What was your biggest fight ever? Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, which is actually a boxing match, but it became the biggest combat sports event ever. How much did it make? It did around 4.4 or 4.5 million buys at $100 per buy. Yeah, that turned out pretty well.
Biggest fights you've ever had? Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, which ironically is a boxing event, but it's the biggest combat sports fight ever. What did that gross? It did 4.4, 4.5 million buys at $100 a buy. Yeah. So that worked out okay.
According to Wade Plemons, Floyd handled his money poorly early on, and after his prime ended, he kept returning to boxing to earn money again through exhibition bouts.
Back, again, 5 years ago now, but that was like the initial rumblings around that fight. And what Floyd did was use Mayweather Promotions to bring them this fight and say, if you'll front us this money, we'll put this fight here. They fronted him the money. He took the money, had the fight at the Hard Rock in Miami with Fanmio instead. That was the company that put it on, Fanmio. And Logan saw none of that front end 10 mil. And the people that paid Floyd the 10 mil never saw a dime back. It's nasty work what he did. But this has been like one of Floyd's MOs, is that he leverages his fight name or his quote unquote assets, and which is what, a lot of wealthy people do. They leverage their assets to take out bigger loans or, whatever. But Floyd does it in such a reckless way that no one ever sees return on it. He just takes money. It isn't a loan.
Joe Rogan says Floyd Mayweather used his wealth carelessly, living a very extravagant life, treating his earnings like they would never end, which may have caused financial pressure.
Crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. Mm-hmm. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember Iran Barkley was talking about that. Iran Barkley, when he was in his prime, was hanging out with all these professional athletes, and everybody was getting diamond-crusted chains and this and that, and he was keeping up with these people. Like, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And he just found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know?
No
Chad
one know.
Ochocinco.
Exactly.
It's
Fake
like when
jewelry,
they look at him, like
flying economy. He was sleeping at the
Teddy Atlas says some people feel satisfied seeing Floyd struggle now because he spent years showing off his wealth and making others feel jealous of his lifestyle.
Taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point. And now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall. Potentially.
You're right.
Fall. Oh, yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Stephen Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And I've taken arrows for it. And of course, I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's going to say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job over at Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape.
Dan Raphael explains that the current financial issues around Floyd Mayweather Jr. are not surprising when his career and lifestyle are closely examined. According to Raphael, this result could have been expected by anyone who watched how openly Mayweather managed his money over time. During his career, Floyd Mayweather Jr. created an image based on luxury and excess. He regularly showed a life filled with private jets, luxury cars, designer brands, and costly trips. These displays were not rare, but frequent, becoming a key part of his public image.
My people again later, and hopefully I can get it this afternoon to actually read the specifics of the suit and what the allegations are. But the fact that Floyd would encounter some financial issues post his boxing career is not in any way a surprise to me. When you see the types of things that, when if you believe anything that he puts on his social media, the travel that he does, the places he goes, and the amount of entourage he has, I mean, that's like a money pit. I mean, whether you're flying on private jets or you're staying at first class hotels or you're, buying expensive jewelry and cars and bags and you name it. I mean, it's all good when you're making those gigantic paydays and they're coming in, a couple times a year. You're making 40 million here and 25 million there, or even more, 100 million plus, when he fought the big mega fights with guys like Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao. But when that stops.
While this created a sense of success and power, it also brought concerns about long-term financial stability. Dan Raphael suggests that keeping such an expensive lifestyle needs smart planning, especially after retirement when steady income slows down. Without proper control, even large earnings can reduce over time. The problem is not how much money was made, but how it was used and saved. Now, with reports of financial stress and continued exhibition fights, the situation seems to reflect those earlier concerns. What once looked like endless wealth now shows the need for discipline and smart choices beyond the fame of a successful boxing career.
Allegations about the 340 million, it just didn't ring true to me, because Al Heyman, who is not named in the suit, but apparently is supposedly part of this problem, whatever. But I mean, I've known Al Heyman and covered Al Heyman's fighters and his business since the day he stepped in boxing in like 2002 with Vernon Forrest. And all that time, and literally in terms of the PBC, a couple hundred fighters that he's dealt with, maybe not personally, but that his team is and his company. To a fighter, you never hear anybody, even when they're retired and they're not with Al anymore, nobody talks bad about him. In fact, if you ask most fighters, they'll tell you how good to them that he has been. That type of money that they've helped him make and the person that he's paid.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. was once known for constantly showing luxury, creating an image of unlimited wealth and financial power. According to the Boxing Ago host, recent updates suggest a very different reality behind the scenes. The analyst points to a surprising financial decline, mentioning legal action taken by Floyd Mayweather Jr. against major business partners. Over time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. built strong connections with key figures like Steven Espinoza and networks such as Showtime. These partnerships helped generate huge fight earnings and worldwide attention. However, the current lawsuit, reportedly worth $340 million, claims that large payments were not properly delivered.
We are going to go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're going to see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're going to take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing.
This situation brings serious concerns about money management, contract clarity, and long-term planning in boxing. The difference between his past public image and current legal issues creates a story that feels surprising to many people. What once looked like complete financial control now appears more complex, showing that even the most successful careers can face problems when business deals are not clear.
Represents the $500K, $500,000 in arrears plus late fees minus a deposit that Mayweather paid at the start of the lease and the $100,000 catch-up payment. So they deducted what he did submit when he was made aware of this, the $100K, and I guess a deposit. So the remaining balance is that. An attorney for Mayweather did not provide a comment by deadline. He has not responded to the lawsuit in court. In a separate legal matter, so we've already went over one with this luxury condo in Manhattan, right? But a separate legal matter, a Miami jeweler sued Floyd Mayweather last month, alleging the boxer owes more than $1 million for jewelry that he took but never paid.
Coach Malachi explains that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is now involved in a major legal case, claiming that about $340 million was either taken or mishandled in deals connected to Steven Espinoza at Showtime. He says the way these agreements were set up may have removed responsibility from certain people, especially Al Heyman. According to Malachi, if the contract details are correct, it explains why Al Heyman is not part of the lawsuit.
Contract, guess what? Al Heyman is clear. And now it explains why Floyd don't have Al Heyman in the lawsuit. He can't sue him. Come on, man. Al covered his tracks. Now, he may be getting sued by big corporations, stuff like that, but he's not being sued by any fighter. They can't sue him. You get what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather messed up. And adds insult to injury, Floyd Mayweather has a gambling problem and he spends a lot of money. He loves to spend money. So whatever he have that's in his possession, he's spending that and blowing that on top of the $340 million that he said that's owed to him. Meaning that he never really got paid from the Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor fight. Come on, man. Al Heyman got power of attorney. You dig? And he covered his tracks. So shout out to the brother man, Al Heyman. You did a good